Welcome to Super High Priestess. This is a trailer for The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I was a Mormon. I believed it. Born and raised into this nonsense. I am an ex-Mormon now. I have realized this is just a system of control. This is something that is not jiving with my life. It is not making my life better. And I left. Thank God. Who are these bitches? They are not acting like Mormons. There are a lot of rules to being a Mormon, and to be a good Mormon, following those rules are a part of the deal. If you are not following those rules, you can't get into heaven according to those rules. And there are a lot of them. And for some people, being a Christian in the Mormon church is about following those rules. It's not about acting Christian. It's not about the teachings of Jesus. Top leaders of the Mormon church don't even follow the rules. Let's get into these hoes here, because I want to see what they do. Let's go.
I love the Mormon church, but there are a lot of rules that we have to follow. We were raised to be these housewives for the men, serving their every desire.
Yep. That is your role
by the
as a
time you're
woman.
21, or in my case, at 16. Well, I'm like this.
Show me what you're working with.
Being a 16-year-old mother in the Mormon church is very, very unusual. In fact, if you are a young girl who gets pregnant at 16, that's not normal. That is not recommended. Usually in a lot of those cases, those young women get shamed. They are not supported. In fact, they are recommended to give that baby up for adoption. I have seen that over and over again. The church used to have a program called LDS Family Services, where it was like an in-network adoption agency, where if you were a horrible unwed single girl or young women, I've known lots of women in their 20s who gave babies away for adoption because the church doesn't believe in abortion per se. They believe in certain cases, yes, the life of the mother, rape, incest, those kinds of things within reason, but they don't believe it if you got an unwanted pregnancy. They recommend that you give the baby up for adoption. I think it is such a personal choice. It is such a deeply personal choice that whatever that young lady wants to do, she should be able to do. It looks like this lady here kept her baby, but not every case of adoption has been a great thing. I know someone who was given away for adoption, and the family that he ended up in is very strange. They are very, very weird people. His father might even be a child molester. There are all kinds of weird signs that indicate that allegedly maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know for sure, but it doesn't look good. They're just really strange people. When I got pregnant with my daughter, I was 20 and my family wanted me to give her away for adoption because I wasn't married. I ended up marrying her biological dad, and I'm so grateful I didn't give her away because who knows what could have happened. And she's still in my life. We're good. I'm so glad. But that is typically what happens when you're a pregnant 16-year-old in the Mormon church. They encourage you to give it away to a righteous Mormon family. And of course, those are closed adoptions. And another thing I want to say is LDS Family Services, a few years ago, they destroyed all their documents. They did not want biological families to get in touch with each other for some reason. I don't know. That is what I heard. Allegedly, they destroyed all of their records to prevent biological parents getting in touch with biological children. Families are forever.
I created Mom Talk. It's a group of Mormon moms making TikToks. It started with Whitney and Macy.
Okay, I am not seeing any garment clothing here. If you are a real believing Mormon, you wear your garments night and day. You do not take them off for a TikTok. The only times that are acceptable for a Mormon to take off the garment, which suck by the way, because it gets hot here in the summer in Utah. It gets up to about, I don't know, over 100 degrees in the hottest times. It sucks. Like, I could not wear this if I was a worthy member of the church. There's no way. I'm looked at as the scandalous whore and I wear a lot of things like this. I haven't seen one outfit from these so-called Mormon women that would be acceptable. They would be talked to by their bishop. There were things that I wore. The bishop was like, you need to talk to your wife. To my husband, he's like, you need to talk to your wife, because I'd wear like a tight skirt or a skirt that had maybe a little slit in the back. I was making other members feel uncomfortable. Oh my God, the scandal, right? So this is just rich though. These girls like that midriff, off the shoulders, because garments here, let me show you. They go to about here-ish, right? They're these little ugly cap sleeve things. The neckline typically goes to about here or sometimes here. It depends what size you get, and you cannot wear normal shorts because the bottom garments are like these shorts that are supposed to go over your kneecap, but sometimes I would get like the petite kind so that they would go. I tried to skip the rules a little bit because it sucked and it was so restrictive. Like, I don't blame them for wearing these scandalous things, but at the same time, don't claim to be a Mormon, honey. You're not acting like a good Mormon. You're acting like a Jack Mormon, and Jack Mormons are, oh my gosh, I'll get into that. Jack Mormons are even worse, but I would not claim to be a Mormon and be wearing anything like this, because your bishop could have a talk with you. Your Relief Society president could have a talk with you and be like, honey, you're not wearing the proper things. Oh yeah, by the way, if you are a garment wearer, you're not supposed to take off your garments unless you are taking a shower, swimming, but you can only wear one piece modest swimsuit. Don't you dare wear a two-piece or a bikini, right? You can't wear a bikini. Oh my God, just be a freaking Jezebel. And the other thing is if you're having sex. So did I say them all? Shower, swimming, sex. But then when you're done having sex, you put those garments right back on immediately.
Michaela and I,
we're breaking a norm. We are trying to change the stigma of gender roles in the Mormon culture.
That's what scares me. In the church, we have rules for a reason.
Gracie, I need you to twerk your ass off.
Yeah, the Mormon church believes very heavily in trad wives. There are quotes from the 1980s, the 1970s about if you are a woman and you're working outside the home, you are going against God, and your place is in the home. The failure of the home is like the worst thing in Mormonism. There's a lot of heavy emphasis on women, their places in the home, getting a job, unless you absolutely have to. And that's so much pressure because, hello, have you looked around and seen how expensive things are? You typically need to have a 2-income home these days. It's become the way it is. I don't like it. Why do you think I'm on YouTube? I'm making that internet money, okay? So as much as I've been a traditional wife for many years, I have to make money. If I want to have property, if I want to have a house, I have to make money. And that's the other thing. It puts tons of pressure on the man to make a shit ton of money. That is a lot of pressure. Some men can't do it. Some men can't. It's a lot of pressure. So as a Mormon, you are expected to be a perfect, beautiful, skinny, perfect wife, make tons of as many babies as you can, because you can't deny the spirits that you've made agreements with to have and come to this earth, or they might go to an evil non-Mormon family, for Christ's sake. All these pressures. And then on top of it, the Mormon church worships money. They have hundreds of billions of dollars that they just hoard, basically. It's true. The Mormon church is worth so much money. But when I was a kid and we would go to General Conference, which was twice a year, they used to do an annual report about all kinds of things, like how big the membership is getting, how many new stakes and wards there are, how many missions there are, blah, blah, blah. But then they would get to the financial portion, and I always thought this was weird. Even when I was a kid, I was like, huh? They would say this: the finances of the church are confidential. We're not going to share it specifically, They always kept it very secret. Well, that's interesting because every member at the end of the year would go to something called tithing settlement, or they changed the name of it. It's like tithing declaration now. They just changed the name. It's the same shit. Where they ask you if you're a full tithe payer, they see exactly what you're making. They ask you if, oh, are you paying a full tithe? Are you paying a part tithe? And there's a lot of pressure. They don't have a meeting necessarily about if you're being Christ-like, but they do have a meeting to see if you're paying all the money that they want. And I've heard different things about, well, it's 10% of your gross. No, it's 10% of your net. Prosperity gospel is also a thing in the church. Like, a lot of wealthy Mormons have a hard time finding out about these truth claims that the church lies about. They have a hard time leaving because they believe, oh my gosh, I've made all this money because I paid my tithing, right? And so they have a hard time disconnecting and leaving. And that's sad. It's sad because it's like the church doesn't need your money. They have hundreds of billions of dollars now.
My goal was really just to be able to provide for my family.
Who is currently the breadwinner at home?
All of us.
Really?
That's right. We blew up.
Okay, that's awesome. I give those girls credit for being the breadwinners. That's really badass, but that is also not what the church teaches.
Overnight.
2 million followers.
9 million views.
Whoa. It's been really crazy for us.
And then it just turned into this whole group is swinging with each other.
Wait, what?
A Mormon swinging scandal has hit Utah.
No one was innocent. Everyone has hooked up with everyone.
Okay, there have been rumors for decades now that there is a swinging community near Draper or the point of the mountain. That's not new. It's probably new for these people, but ew, look, if you're somebody who has an affair and you're a member of the church, typically you're going to have what they call a disciplinary meeting. And they're like, it's all about our love for you. We love you. They're actually humiliating and horrible. I've been a bad Mormon and I've had a few of them. Because, oh my gosh, I had sex when I wasn't married to people. Oh no. Normal things that people do. Okay. Now, I'm not into cheating. I think cheating is wrong. It's not good. It's just not good. And if these people are married and swinging and there's sneakiness and cheating going on, that is very against the church. In the temple, you make a promise to not hook up with anyone. Those aren't the exact word. They're not like, thou shalt not hook up. No. That'd be great if they said that. But they said you'll have no sexual relations unless you are legally and lawfully wedded to the person. I mean, look, they're not following the rules anyway. They're not. Clearly, she would not be able to wear garments with this top. There's no way. There is no way. There's no way. And if they are hooking up with other people outside of their marriage, they would be excommunicated at the very worst. And at the very least, they would be disfellowshipped, which means you can't take the sacrament, the bread and water. You can't serve in a calling. You can't do prayers in public, which is also very humiliating because then you're like, hey, sister so-and-so, can you give the closing prayer? And then in front of everyone, you have to be like, no, I can't. And it's humiliating. A lot of gossip within Mormon circles typically, and they're like, well, what did Sister Hooby Dooby do? Oh my gosh, like, did you see her not take the sacrament? I saw it. Maybe she has a porn problem. Like, it's scandalous because there is so much about being perfect in the Mormon circles. There is so much pressure.
Taylor announced that the group was involved in soft swinging.
It was like swapping in front of each other, standing next to each other.
Wow.
Now there's a fight for mom talk.
You guys can't keep doing this.
The drama is now with the husbands.
The group is important to me.
Being divorced and taking care of 2 kids would be kind of tough, so you make the decision.
It feels like they're stuck in another era, and it's starting to tear the group apart.
Online, it looks like we're all the bestest of friends, but we're not.
Ooh, awkward.
We're the most devout out of the whole group.
And then there are others.
In what way do you
I don't see any devout behavior. This is absolute hedonism and debauchery. This is not Mormon behavior. This is not Mormon behavior. I know so many people who would look down on these people for how they're living, because here's another thing. If you're a Mormon, there are 2 things that matter. If you have a lot of money, which it looks like they have a lot of money, so they're able to get away with acting like this. But if you don't have a lot of money, You need to behave like the perfect Mormon. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never had coffee. I've never even had a Coca-Cola. I mean, the insane level of the stupid rules and regulations that matter to people is off the charts nonsense. So that's probably why they can get away with not dressing garment type approved. They probably have a lot of money. I mean, I think the TikTok dancing is cool. It looks like they're having a lot of fun and it looks like they're really good. I do not see them acting like great moms. I'm sorry. Mom talk. How are they being moms? They should call it dance. Like they're dancing, which it looks fun, cool. Other than the pregnant lady, I don't see any maternal characteristics anywhere here.
Like drinking helps you be a better mom. Oh my gosh, what is happening right now?
Is that kind of true? Listen, I had to do heroin because I'm a better mom when I'm on heroin. Tell that to the Department of Family Services.
There's gonna be drama tonight. There's something in the air.
911, what is your emergency? Somebody is screaming, get off me.
What's your name?
Taylor.
Taylor. At this time, you're going to be placed under arrest.
There's so many secrets, there's lies, gossip.
Sometimes fights are necessary. The gloves are off, baby.
And I don't know if it's a Gen Z thing. They wear these beanies and I'm like, dude, it's 95 degrees. They wear hoodies. It's 95. It gets up to 100 sometimes here in the worst part of summer. It gets over 100. And I see these kids walking around in hoodies, in beanies. I'm like, what is going on? And in the wintertime, my son does this. He'll go out in shorts and be like, what? I'm hot. Like, what planet is this?
It was so bad.
I'm done. I'm out.
Can the group even survive this? There's a whole story that we literally haven't told anyone.
This is going to make incredible reality TV. These people don't seem very bright. I mean, there seems to be a correlation between people that are really hot, which all of these people are really hot. You know they've got plastic surgery though, so some of it's totally artificial. And Utah is number 2 state in the United States that gets the most plastic surgery. California is number 1. The reason for that is the gender roles are so high pressure. As a man, you are expected to make a lot of money, be very manly, be very into females. And as a female, you are supposed to be very motherly, very maternal, very beautiful, very thin, very fit. This is going to be incredible TV. This is going to be a shit show. These people are going to do whatever the producers convince them to do. I can tell. I mean, hey, if you're on social media, you typically want attention. I'm on social media. Hey, I want you guys to look at me. The more views I get, the better. So I'm not exempt from this. And these women, if you can call them women, they're the same. The more millions, they're probably very well-to-do because of the money they've received from TikTok. I mean, the dancing is cool. It looks fun. It looks like they're having fun. These people do not follow the rules of Mormonism, though. And I think that is probably because in Mormonism, if you are in a middle class, like lower middle class, poor working class, there is a high value on following the rules of the Mormon culture. If you follow those rules, you are considered a good Mormon. Now, there are wealthy people and upper middle class Mormons who do strictly follow the rules. However, what I'm seeing on shows like this and shows like Housewives of Salt Lake City is because they are upper class to wealthy class, they can claim that they are Mormon and not follow rules, but they're still considered Mormon because they have money. And here's the truth about Mormonism. Mormonism worships money. Look at the leaders. Look at how they handle the money. They have vast amounts of wealth, hundreds of billions of dollars. And Jesus, he mentioned something in the Bible about giving away wealth, about it not being that important. But the Mormon church hoards wealth because they worship money. And many, many, many members, including people that I know in my family that worship money, and they put people on a pedestal not because they're good people, but because they have money. That is a key trait of a lot of Americans, and I've seen it tons in Mormonism. So this is going to be a great show. I am totally going to review it. This is going to be very interesting. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.